Hey guys, welcome back to the CAGED lesson series. In this video we're going to look at how these chords that make up the CAGED system connect across the neck, which is kind of the whole point of the CAGED system. It shows how these shapes or chords or harmonic structures, chord voicings, lay out across the neck and how you can stay in one key. Through those shapes you can find scales, and then it can assist with improvising and just being able to get around the neck in a vertical and a horizontal fashion. So, as we discussed in the previous video, the CAGED name comes from the chords themselves: C major, A major, G major, E major, and D major. So one thing we want to be comfortable with is how many strings each chord is. And more important than that really is where the lowest root note is, because that is going to be the way that we identify these shapes or positions across the neck. So being comfortable with that in open position is a smart move as you're trying to transition it up the neck, because once you're in uncharted territory, it gets a little bit more difficult to see. But if you can relate it, connect it to something that you're already comfortable with, then that is ideal. It expedites the learning process by quite a bit. So for C major, the lowest note we're playing, or the lowest root note, all of these are in root position, but our root note is on string 5 for the C chord, or the C shape. For A major, same thing, that root note is on string 5. For the G major chord, that root note is on string 6. For E major, string 6. And for D major, string 4. So 5 for C, 5 for A, 6 for C, or 6 for G, sorry, 6 for E, and 4 for D. So connect that information as you're trying to play these bar chords. And you know, some of these may be a little tricky to play. I mean, if it's new information, then great, you're getting your hand a little workout. But this is not about playing bar chords necessarily. This is about unlocking the fretboard and understanding it at a higher level, whether that be through scale degree numbers or notes or chords. There's a lot that you can take away from it. So one thing that I would practice doing before trying to play each of these chords is to position my fingers in a way that will be representative of how I'm going to be playing as I shift up the neck. So here it looks like my first finger is on the guitar, but I'm just laying it over the nut right there, and I'm using different fingers to play the C major chord, strictly so I can get comfortable with what I'm about to have to do. And it also helps me visualize how this is all connected. All right, so A major would be with fingers 2 through 4. That's how I play my A major anyways, but I'm going to lay finger 1 down. All right, so mimicking the bar that's going to be necessary. For G major, this is the one in the last video we said it's very odd. It's a very stretched out position. If you have a smaller hand, don't worry about it. My hands are small. You know, and I can kind of eke it out, but it's really not that important. It's just for being able to see it. E major, and then D major. So just kind of getting used to each one of those shapes, each one of those positions in open position so you can see it as you shift it up the neck. Now, let's get down to business. So we're going to connect each one of these chords across the fretboard. We're going to do this in different ways in other videos coming up, but this is the basis or the foundation of the CAGED system. Learning how to connect these chords and knowing those root notes. I'm going to point those out as we go through. Super important. So the C chord or the C shape is going to connect to the A shape. The A shape is going to connect to starting to sound like a nursery rhyme. G shape connects to the E shape, and the E shape connects to the D shape, and it goes full circle. D shape connects to the C shape. Now let's look at how that happens. So we're going to start off with open position C major. That root note on string 5 is going to be a shared root note for the A shape. So I'm going to shift this up, grab my root, and that's where my bar is going to go at the 3rd fret where that root note was, right? And then I put my fingers 2, 3, 4 down to make the A shape. So now I have a C major chord with an A shape. So from here, in open position, the next C chord available, C major, is through this A shape, and they're connected through that root right there. All right. Now these 3 notes, this is a 5-1-3 triad for you theory folks out there. That's going to be the connector for our G shape. A connects to G. So my next C major chord available up the neck is going to be a G shape. So I'm going to bar at the 5th fret there with my first finger. Then I stretch out here to string 6, fret 8, string 5, fret 7, and then pinky on string 1, fret 8. And I get that to come out completely clear, but that is the shape right there. So, root note there, that is our connector to the A shape. This little group of notes, there is a root in there, it's on string 3. That's our connector to the G shape. We have 2 root notes here, but I would focus on string 6 since we're keeping it on the lower end. But both of those are C's, or root notes that are going to connect into our E shape. So we're going to shift into 8th position here, where those root notes are. We put our E shape on. All right, so we went C shape in open position, which is a C chord. A shape, but it's still a C major chord. G shape, still a C major chord. E shape, C major chord, that's at the 8th fret. Then our root note, our connector, is here under the pinky on string 4, fret 10 for C major chord. So I'm going to put finger 1 there, right? And that's my D shape, that's not my next C major chord. And then all 3 of these notes that make that little D shape that we're used to in open position connect to the C major shape. A little crammed up there. All right, so this is basically repeating what we started with there, all the way up at 12th position. So, just to recap, I'll go up and down and point out those root notes. C major, all C major chords, but I'll call it the shape and the root notes. So C shape, root note on 5th string. A shape, root note on the 5th string. G shape, root note on the 6th string. E shape, root note on the 6th string. D shape, root note on the 4th string. And then we're back to the C shape root note on the 5th string. And going back, C to D, D to the E shape to the G shape to the A shape to the C shape. So if there's one thing that you want to be comfortable being able to see, it is that. That is the fundamental. That's the fundamental component of the CAGED system. And if you can't understand that, then grasping it any further can be difficult. It's not impossible, but That is, I would say, probably the single most important takeaway from it, because then you can just grow on the guitar neck so many different ways with that information. Anyways, if you're feeling good about that, guys, we're going to explore this CAGED system in many ways in the coming videos. See you in the next one. Thanks a lot.